If you're gonna do a play-by-play here, then we should prick punch it. This is what you do. Prick punch like that. So you know how these gotta go back on. So maybe you take pictures of the prick punches to make sure that that's be the first step. That's what you'd want to do.
Okay, I got a video going, so we're good.
Okay. Then the next thing you'd want to do is take these, remove these bolts there.
Yeah. 4
of them. Take the back end off. You want to inspect the bearing race here to make sure that there's no grooves, or if you run your fingernail along that, you don't feel any lip in the outer edge. If you did, that would mean that this bearing has been getting sloppy in here and wore this out, and that would need to be repaired or replaced.
Okay, so that one's good?
This is very good, yep.
Okay, good.
Next thing you want to do is rubber mallet. You don't want to hit it with a hammer. Gently break this end loose. Slide it out this way. Being careful not to bump these windings in there, because if you do, it's a done deal.
Okay.
Next, just visually inspecting the windings. This is your centrifugal switch here. And I don't know if you can see in here or not. There's
contacts?
2 little contactors, yep.
Yeah.
When you're doing this job, you're going to want to take a really fine grit sandpaper, a real fine small file, something like that, and just clean these 2 up, because there's a lot of pitting that goes on there because it's arcing every time it stops and starts. There's an arc that goes on there. So sometimes there's pitting and then corrosion. You just want to make sure while you're in here, you want to clean that out.
Okay.
Next is how we're going to get this off. Also, you clean everything out, blow it off, whatever. I'm sure there's a lot of dust, but make sure that this is your governor. Make sure that it moves freely enough, slides in and out.
Okay. Looks like there's some rust in there. Can we clean that up, or is that important?
Yeah, yeah. Once I get this bearing off, then that's what I'll do. I'll get in there with some sandpaper and I'll clean that off.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. You got to blow everything off, knock the rust off everything that you can.
Yeah.
Not sure how I'm going to get this off here.
Would a bearing puller work to get that off the end?
No, typically that's what you would use, but the problem with this is there's nowhere to push from the middle.
Oh, okay.
Right, so bearing puller, pushes as it yanks back on either side, but you got nowhere to push, so nope, that's not going to work. Really, the only thing you can do is try and heat this up if this doesn't pull off with some pry bars.
Some encouragement.
Yep. And hopefully we're going to get lucky. And this guy, you don't want to go too hard on this because this is aluminum a lot of times, or I guess this one's steel, but it's still not that sturdy. So you don't want to put too much pressure on this. If this don't go with a gentle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Push, then you don't really want to start going to town, then you would want to apply more heat to it. Because you don't want to bust that end belt.
It doesn't look like it's budging at all.
Bigger torch. There's probably a key in there, and that key is what's be holding this up. Alright. We'll put some heat on it and see if I can get it hot enough. I don't think this torch is going to get it. The joys of pulleys.
Mm.
Yeah, I think so. So you don't want to do this with it in the motor because flames will go, they could get past this fan into the windings, and you don't want to do that.
Okay.
The key to this, though, is you want to get it hot quick. This little torch I got is really not a good torch to do this with. A acetylene torch would be best, but you want to get this hot fast so it doesn't have time to warm up the inside and then swell everything up.
Okay.
Got a freezing cold gas can and size is 6203. I think so. I think I got the bearings here too.
Oh, that'd be excellent. I kind of expected I just have to leave it here.
Sometimes we get lucky. That's good. That's all that oil you had in there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Good deal. Means we get warm. Keep my hands warm.
Good deal. So these motors, are they pretty much bulletproof as long as you keep the bearings replaced? Or are there other things that are going to make them wear out?
No, as far as wearing out, no. Keep the bearings replaced and they should be good for a long time. Keep everything clean, you know, because the dirtier, more packed full of dust and stuff that it is, you know, obviously the harder it is on the motors. So cleanliness, every once in a while, if you can get in there with compressed air and blow it out, because I mean, they're open. They're made for air to, you know, go through it. So wouldn't be a bad idea to every 6 months or so go in there and just, you know, blow everything out with some compressed air.
Well, that's good to know.
But as far as, yeah, preventive maintenance, you know, cleaning and bearings, that's pretty much all you can do. Other than the shaft, I'd like to see how funny this shaft is, because I couldn't see why you couldn't buy this motor brand new. I would assume they would still sell something like this.
Well, I can't get it from Shimpo that makes the wheel, but I'm sure that if I knew the specs of what I was asking for,
That's what I mean, right? Exactly. We could narrow it down, and then you can go online and see what you could find. I bet you could get this. And that would be good to put out there too. This is a replacement for this motor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In case they did burn them up, because they are single phase, and single phase motors have a lot of. They have a hard time starting. Let's put it that way. It takes a lot to get them going. There's a lot of wear and tear on the starting of the motor, so more so than three phase. Come on, let's see what happens.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Table, right? Budget. One, two. And we'll lubricate. Alright, dang it. Yeah, that's the bad one there. I can see. One key.
Well, do you think that end is okay? I mean, ideally, I'd like to replace both of them, but
No.
not okay?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And here's another thing too: is if I spin it like this and it coasts for a really long time, you'd think, man, that's a great bearing. It's not. That's not a good thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it should make no noise like this, really. There's a little bit you can hear it, but when a bearing's coasting like that really good, it's like those fidget spinners the kids have, and they can spin and they'll spin forever. So they don't have any grease in them. They don't have any oil, right? So
okay.
They'll spin forever with no grease, but you put any speed or anything on there, and then they're bad. You know, they'll heat up really fast and end up taking out your end bell, in which case you got to get a new motor. So, right. So it shouldn't be just coasting like that, like nuts. That's not a good thing. So yes, this one's better than this one, but to send you out with this like this, you're going to be back here in no time anyway. So
okay.
We got to get this off.
And while it's all apart,